Hey, what's up guys? Your average wargamer is back with a video for all of you guys who have just started playing World of Warships. And obviously, if you are new to the game, I think this video will be just for you. So, before I'm gonna explain each and everything what this game is about, I will divide this whole thing into main two sections. The first section will absolutely going to be around the user interface, what is the equipment, what are upgrades, exterior, tech tree, profile, each and everything, all sort of stats, the ship itself, and how you're going to progress through the game. So, and the other stuff or other timeline, or you can basically call it the chapter. It's basically about that the gameplay, how you can able to shoot, how you can able to manage your ship, and absolutely everything that you really need to know. So before that, if you have not subscribed to my channel, I would recommend you to subscribe to my World of Warships YouTube channel. I'm an experienced player in World of Warships, playing this game for a long time, and I can help you to improve your game and can help you to be a better player. So let's just jump up to the stuff. So, well, as you can able to see, we have first of all a ship itself in the port, and usually you will have either a Japanese ship or the American ship. So how do you know that we have a ship of its particular nation? Well, you can able to clearly see it's a American ship that you are currently having in the port. So let's go and check out what are these actual ships. So to able to understand what ship I am currently in and what are the other ships that I can possibly able to purchase, well, let's just jump up into the tech tree. Now here there is a whole plethora of Pandora box that I just opened. For a new player, it seems to be, well, you can able to see there are a lot of nations. It starts from Japan all the way to the Spain, and every nation has a ton of ships starting from tier 1 all the way up to tier 10. And sometimes it's not even tier 10. Sometimes it's also even a super tier, which I can able to show you. So after tier 10, there comes to be another tier, which is a super tier, which basically are the monster ships that you can actually help in the game. But you don't have, or you will probably not going to have access, because you just started to play the game, and they will probably not going to show you this after a couple of ships that when you will research, probably will, then when you come up to the tier 10 stuff, then you will might able to eventually see. So you first of all going to be at this position, which is Hashide. This is a Japanese line. It starts from this tier 1 all the way where you want to go. So you can have Japanese ship here and USA ship here, and there are all other nations from Soviet to France, from Europe. You can name it. There are tons of ships that you can absolutely purchase and can play. So this is a tech tree. So let's explain, or let me explain what is going on here. So first of all, as you can able to see, we can able to see this is a battleship area. Like this is a entire class of ship that basically have their own characteristics. Then we have ships that are cruisers. Then we have light sort of small ships, light, fast, maneuverable ships. You can able to clearly read that. You can able to understand what this ship class means. And then you will have aircraft carriers, entirely different line, which basically have a really unique gameplay. So there are so many things that one will learn to understand this whole game, and it's gonna be a lengthy one. That's what I can tell you. But these are the 4 basic classes: battleship, cruisers, destroyers, and aircraft carriers. And there is one more class that I will show you, which in this particular nation you can get. There are some nations like USA and USSR, the UK, that have this entirely unique ship class, and that is submarine. Now in the UK class, you can able to see there are 3 submarines that you can actually research in the game, and you can play them. And this basically have their own entirely unique gameplay. If I can able to show you, well, the USA also have this line. So there are so many lines that you can able to go to. Totally up to you which line that you want to pick. Either you want to pick battleship, cruiser, destroyer, and submarine. Totally up to you. But obviously there is a better recommendation which line to pick, which I might able to basically explain you later. But this is basically a general idea. So what happens is, once you pick up the USA line, you can able to start it, or you can start or able to see that you have one ship, which is Erie, and then this is a tier 1 cruiser, which basically have all the basic characteristics of that nation, and then you go all the way up to basically tier 10. So what happens is, you get from tier 1 to tier 2 to 3, 4, 5, all the way up to tier 10, which basically is the behemoth or the monster of that line. It's the most strongest ship of that line that has unique characteristics compared to basically maybe a battleship, maybe a destroyer. So during that, once you get to tier 3, you can jump up to either battleship role. If you are in tier 2, you can go up to the destroyer role, or if you are in tier 6, you can go up to the submarine role, or even carrier in this case. Let me show you. So these are carriers, okay? So you can go from tier 4 carrier to all the way up to tier 10 carrier, or even there are super carriers. So a lot much interesting stuff going out there. So this is how you can able to see we have 5 ship classes. So this is all the tech tree. Let's go back into the port. There's one thing that I would definitely tell you, which is if you go and check this area, this is where you can able to select your port. It totally up to your taste, that if you really like to change your port, like I can able to switch to the port. This is a ocean port, which basically completely changes the theme and background of whatever is behind that ship. So you can able to see this is an ocean map, pretty much clear, and there's nothing else that's can be eye-catching. Some people prefer that. I do like ocean map, or you can even switch to basically a very, very different map or port, you can call it. Totally up to your taste. It takes a bit of time to load because it is a big port and there are a lot of stuff going on. So you can able to see this is another port. So a variety of ports to pick, totally up to you which you want to pick. So this is port, and now you can able to see you have your account. Your account basically, you definitely have put your name like on your accounts. That's where your name is going to be. This is basically a clan, which I will explain later. This is your insignia. For me, this is a special insignia. I won't talk about that. Mostly when you are starting World of Warships, you can basically get these patches. So you can either change this to this, or basically this, or if you have other patches later, you can absolutely switch from time to time. And this will be able to show in the game that you are getting represented by this patch. So keep that in mind, and you can save it, and once you save it, now you're going to be represented by this patch. It's an insignia, so you have that thing. Okay, so there is patches, there is emblems. For particular nations, you also have emblems that you can actually able to get by playing that ship class or that particular nation. So that's also very important. Once we get to this, well, we have a recruiting session. It's not very important. This will be something for later. The people who want to basically recruit other new World of Warship player, that is for them. We can also purchase the premium time, which actually increases the speed or level of grind that we're gonna do in this game. Because we want to research and grind the ships to tier 10. It's totally up to you if you want to buy premium time. If you don't want to buy premium time, totally up to you. But this is for exactly that. You earn more credits and XP for each battle. Then we have the inventory. Inventory is something that a lot of people not really able to figure out. That is like, even when I started playing World of Warships, I actually don't know what is inventory because I didn't able to manage to watch a video that basically explains what is inventory. So this is very important. So let's go into it. And now there is going to be a ton of things that I'm going to explain, but I'm just gonna tell you and I'm gonna show you what actually is inventory, okay? So once it loads, I will be able to show you that what actually the thing that we can able to buy and sell within that, because there are so many things that you might not be able to use. So now once we get to the inventory, we have so many other things. Modules. Now these modules are basically on the ship. They are literally hulls, they are literally stock modules. You can able to clearly see this is a carrier module, this is a destroyer module. Depending upon which ship you have, you will going to have these modules. So these are the modules that you can either buy or sell for each ship type as well, for each nation type as well, if you have those, okay? So these are the modules. I will explain it later. So basically you can able to understand what is actually that. Now we will going to go to the upgrades. Now upgrades are something that you can actually put in the ship to improve its characteristics. So upgrades are also very important. There are some upgrades that you might either sell or either demount. In this case, you can able to see, I have a lot of upgrades. These are upgrades that I have not put into a ship, and that's why I can sell. If I want to put that into a ship, I can absolutely able to put that into it, which I will show you how. Then we have signals. Now signals, as you can able to see, these are also something that slightly, barely improve the characteristics, sorry, my bad English, characteristics of the ship. And if the more you put these flags, the better the ship characteristics will be. So keep that in mind. I will also show you what are signals and where to put them on a ship. Then we have flag. Now these flags doesn't do anything. They are basically just for showing purpose. Like if you have a ship, which I will again explain you in the port, like how to put the flag and how it looks like. But this does not improve any characteristics. You can just put it on the ship and it just looks good. When you play in the battle, you can able to clearly see that flag is basically wavering from the air. So that's why this exists. Then we have camouflages. Now camouflages is something pretty interesting. There are two types of camouflages. I will explain this whole stuff later, so keep that in mind. And then we have economic bonuses. Now these bonuses are also really important. I'm going to explain that these bonuses, or these boosters you can call it, these are something that basically gain you or net you a whole lot of resources that are going to help you to grind either a ship or either even some premium ships. There is two concepts in this game, which is you are either going to buy a tech tree ship or premium ship. I will explain how. So this is basically inventory. You can sell these things if you have extra. Okay, so let's jump up to other stuff. So let's go to the equipment. I have talked about the upgrades, right? You can sell them in the inventory. So now you have this ship. In this case, I have Armory. This cruiser, you're usually going to have this one. Now you can put an upgrade. This upgrade you can buy and you can put on it. You can purchase and you have mounted an upgrade successfully. Now as you can able to see, it improves the characteristics of that ship. So as you will go up to higher tiers, for example, this is a tier 5 cruiser. So once you get to the cruiser Omaha, for example, which is basically from the same line, you can have now 3 slots where you can put the upgrades. So it's very important. You can put these upgrades in there and improve the characteristics. For example, there is engine room protection engine room protection. It improves the engine repair time of that ship Omaha. So in this case, there is another slot. You can have aiming system modification 1. It improves the guns in some way, which I will explain what is this, because this is like a completely a whole new chapter, like what are these things, okay? And then we have these things as well. So, but overall, I can just say that you put upgrades and you are good to go. I have talked about the signals, right? These are the signals that improve the characteristics of the ships just slightly. For example, once you are shooting the ship will get into fire. It will take damage by fires. So what this flag does, if you put the flag, now once you put the flag, now it helps in reducing the fire damage that you are taking. So this flag helps quite a lot, at least in that regard. For example, this flag improves these consumables. Yeah, ships have consumables that you will use in the game when you're going to play from time to time. So you will be able to have this thing. If you put it, it helps in improving the characteristics. Again, doing the same thing. The more signals that you put, the better it will be. So you can either demount all, or the best thing that you can do is to just click mount recommended, and it automatically puts the flags here and there for this particular ship. So you can do that, and it just works wonders. So this is basically the equipment. Okay, so now there's another thing. So that is, once you buy, for example, let's go to the Hashi date first so that I can able to explain this. So this is a tier 1 cruiser that you will have. If you want to research it to tier 2, you go here. If you want to buy a slightly powerful ship, you can just go click buy, and you can just buy this ship. Simple as that. Once you have obviously resource credits, you can earn these credits in the battle, so don't worry about it. You can also earn free XP as you will progress into the game. You will able to understand these currencies. This is a whole another new thing or a chapter that if I explain, then you will be able to understand what I'm talking about if you don't know. So you can able to basically buy the ship. So now I have a tier 2 ship, Chikuma, right? I do have Hashi date before. I now have Chikuma. I have bought the ship. After buying this ship, obviously, then we have a ship hulls. I talked about the modules, right, in the inventory. Well, these are the modules that you can absolutely buy, and once you buy, you can basically switch from this one to this one, which basically again improving something about the artillery. As you can able to see, the artillery or main battery firing range has improved in this ship Chikuma. So that is how it works. So this is how it is in the World of Warships. You can able to see I have now tier 2 ship. It's quite a big ship compared to tier 1. So this is how you can able to purchase and get to the next ship. Let's go to the camouflages. I talked about this in inventory. So what are these camouflages? Well, as you can able to see, these are the camouflages that you can buy for this ship. You can able to see this whole Chikuma hull that looks pretty much stock. You can actually put a camo on it, and it will be colorful according to your taste. For example, I like this deep blue for the Chikuma. I can buy this for 45,000 credits. You can able to see I have quite a lot of credits. Don't worry, I am a very, very old player, so that much credits, don't worry looking at that. So this is basically a camouflage. You can actually, if you like a lot much more interesting camouflage, you can put that. It looks pretty good. So this is why, this section is about you put that particular camouflage that you actually like, and you can buy that camouflage if you really want to, and then sail into the battle. And then I talked about the flags, right? Those flags that does not improve any characteristics, right? The flag will be put out here. For example, this is a flag, a windrose flag. I can put that, and now once you're gonna be playing this game, you can able to put the flag, and it looks just good. So this is how it works, and you can able to basically improve the exterior or looks of the ship itself, which is pretty nice. I have talked about the tech tree. Now I will get into a profile. But first of all, let me show you that what this thing is. Okay, this thing is basically a section which basically filter out which ship you want to look at. For example, my filter is currently showing up all the ships that I have in the game. So for example, if I want to look at only tier 1 ships that I have in the game, so I will go into the cruisers, right? And then I will put the tier 1s, and now you can able to see it filters out all the ships. So see, it's only showing all those tier 1 ships that I have for every nation. I haven't specified which nation that I want to see. Like, look at that. If I go to Japanese, it goes to the Hashidate. So only showing Hashidate. So it will make your life a lot easier once you have a lot of ships. So don't worry at all. This is how it works in this game. A really, really good filter. You will absolutely love it. It's pretty nice. So now we will come up to the interesting thing, that what is basically the ship is all about. So, I mean, if you have played a co-op battle, which now I'm gonna go here, this is basically a battle button which will go into the battle. You can actually play with some of your friends, and that's why there is a division section that you can use. And then this is basically very important. So there are game modes in World of Warships. So if I can able to show you, there are 5 game modes currently right now that you can play in the game. The first is random battle, where basically you will have random opponents, right? Like a random player in the enemy team will be against you. It could be a good player, it could be a bad player. This is what matchmaking monitor system will decide, so that is not up to you, that is up to the matchmaking monitor. Then we have co-op battle, which basically you will have a team of real players versus bots. Literally the bots controlled by artificial intelligence, so you can able to use this. If you want to play very easygoing battles where you don't want to get stressed out playing against players, you can certainly play co-op battles. But obviously, if you want to improve your gameplay, obviously random battle is a lot better. Then we have operations. Let's go to the operations, and well, there are a lot of operations. If I am able to show you, so these operations basically, what these operation does is, if you basically use this and start battle right now, obviously I need tier 6 from tier 8 ships. Like if you have tier 6 to tier 8 ships, you can able to play operations. So this is basically a random scenario where, I mean, historically the ships basically fight against each other, and well, that operation is basically resembles to that historical perspective. That's what I can say. So that's where operations basically are pretty interesting. Once you get to tier 6 or tier 8 ships, you can play 4 classes. Obviously you can able to see destroyer, cruiser, battleship, aircraft carriers. So, and then we have a special mood, a mood where you can actually able to earn some very interesting resources, which I will explain. And it's basically a divisionless ranked battle where you can just go play against less random players and get some interesting rewards, right? So there are seasons of ranked battles, but I will not gonna go and get into it. And then we have brawls. Brawls is basically a very short 2 versus 2, 1 versus 1, 3 versus 3 setup style of play style or battle type, where you can able to basically encounter against enemy team. I mean, this is basically if you are capable enough against a single random player or 2 random players. I think this brawl mode is pretty special. As you can able to see, players versus players, so it's not bots. You're gonna have a very small either division team size, or either you're gonna be yourself. So brawl is gonna be pretty interesting, and it basically have its season changes from time to time. Right now you can only play tier 7 ships. You have ranked battles, which is also player versus players, random battle, player versus players, and then co-op battle, players versus bots. Operations, obviously players versus bots, because it's a scenario, a historical perspective, or something related to it. After this, I mean, co-op battle, I will play co-op battle, but before that, let me explain every single thing. I have told you about the equipment, exterior, tech tree, profile. So profile is where you're gonna be able to see your access level keep progressing up and up. At the moment, when you start playing this game, you will have a level 1 where you can only able to play core battles. So if you can start playing core battles, you will eventually progress to level 2, where you can have access to ship research and upgrades. I have explained how to research a ship. So you know, I have told you about the upgrades as well, which improves the characteristic of that ship. And obviously you can research and then buy, and then you just do the same thing over and over and again till you get to tier 10. So this will help you getting access of that. Then we have random metals, we have exterior. Obviously you will over time going to get access to some of these things which I have explained right now. Exteriors, signals, obviously I told you about the free XP. Free XP is something which obviously comes in the economic resource. It's kind of is. I mean, if you're able to understand what is free XP, it's pretty much self-explanatory. But still, free XP is a resource which basically helps you grind your ships a lot faster. I can only say that if you don't know. Then you have economic bonuses. I will explain what are these. Containers. You will get containers from time to time. This is very important, by the way. You will find out soon. Then we have ship commanders. Obviously, to play the ship, to get some value out of the commanders, well, you have ship commanders for that. I will explain that as well. And then you have combat missions, which gives you some bonuses from time to time. Then you have upgrades. Then you have campaigns. I will explain it. Armory. I will explain again. And then operations, which I have explained already. Inventory management, I explained. Ranked battles, and then clan battles. Clan battle is something else. But first of all, let me go and show you the economic bonus section. Well, this is very important. The economic bonus section is something that will help you grind your ships a lot faster. So you have 4 types of economic bonuses. First bonus is basically you have credit bonus. So credits, as you can able to see, well, once you play Chikuma, and if you win or lose the battle, you will earn certain credits, right? And if you want to boost your credits, you can have a credit booster which you might not have initially, like these ones. These are absolutely rare. You cannot get it anywhere. You can get these credits boosters, you can get these credit boosters, and these are pretty much common. So usually if you want to improve your credit earning, you slap this gray booster. Usually when you are a new player, you will be able to use that. I mean, this is credits that you can earn. Now we will come up to the ship XP. Now ship XP is also kind of works the way the credit works. Well, what is ship XP? I will explain to you that as well. Ship XP, sorry, my English, bad English. Ship XP is basically, you can improve the characteristics. This is a better booster than blue booster. And then what this ship XP is basically, let me explain you what it is. So right now I have 0 ship XP. Once you play the game, co-op battle or randoms, your ship XP will increase. If I can able to show you, the ship, if you want to buy, it needs certain ship XP to basically able to research that ship. And obviously then you have to buy at the same time. So to do that, you have to earn ship XP. Once you buy the ship XP, obviously once you earn the ship XP, you can able to research the other ships from tier 1 to tier 2 and so on and so forth. Then we have another very important economic thing, that is commander XP. So what this thing is basically, if I can able to show you, you can basically assign a commander. Now if I can able to assign a commander, I have variety of commanders, but let's start as a new player. I want to recruit a new commander, right? Because a ship without commander is basically not going to be able to do much. You have to improve its game, right? You have to improve its power and characteristics. So you just recruit a new commander. For example, you want to buy a commander, you basically do something here. You basically go here, recruit a commander, and just buy this right now. So I have this commander now. If you able to play the co-op battle or random battles or any battle type, you will earn commander XP. Now commander XP, if I can able to show you, This is basically, if you win the game, you will increase his commander XP. For example, there is another resource that is elite commander XP, but what happens is basically once you win the battle, your commander XP will increase. You have a 1-point captain, it will go to the level, like you can improve it to level 2. So there is that. Let me show you there. So now it's on level 2. You will grind these commander levels once you play the game again and again on that single commander, okay? On that single commander. If you keep playing over that commander over and over again, you will improve the commander level, and obviously then you will have skills for that commander. So in this case, you have first set of skills which are basically costing 1 skill. Then you have another skill line which basically costs 2, and then the complexity increases, the firepower value increases, so it costs 3, and then we come up to the most powerful skills for commanders, and that is 4 skill. Very important to understand. So these are the things that you should really know once you are basically grinding this particular commander over and over again for that certain ship. So that's pretty much very important. So I basically explained that this is how it kind of works, the commander. So you can able to boost that pretty much, and then you have free XP. You can earn free XP obviously in the battle, so you can also boost this free XP, like it improves quite a bit obviously. So these are for these boosters. Once you play the game, you will eventually be able to find out that what are these values and how I am currently earning the free XP. So that is how it is. Again, these are economic boosters which helps you improve your grind and speed of getting to tier 10s. If you want to get to a particular tier 10 ship, this will help a lot, this economic thing. The next section is the armor layout. Now armor layout is also very important. In this case, you can able to see it's a tier 2 cruiser, a Japanese cruiser. It has certain armor where there are different types of colors. Now, as you can able to see, this light color that you can able to see, well, it is the thinnest armor for this ship. And as you can able to see, there is some yellowish color. So you can able to see this is the range of armor thickness. As you go up and up and up, your armor basically get a lot much more thicker, and it will able to basically tank those shells that enemy are throwing at you. Just remember that. It helps a lot in tanking shells. Sometimes the shell will shatter, sometimes the shell will penetrate depending upon which type of shell the enemy team is throwing at you, enemy ship is throwing at you. So it improves in certain areas. As you can able to see, the thickest armor is basically on the conning tower or superstructure. It's a superstructure, but this is the most thickest armor that you can see in this tier 2 cruiser. So that's how you can able to see that this is what its armor profile. I'm not going to go and explain this because it's a whole big chapter in World of Warships that I cannot really able to explain unless I make another video for that. Then we have survivability. It hits points, like how much ship has hit points, like it shows that it has 17,300 hit points. So enemy team is shooting at you, you are shooting at enemy team, you will be able to see what I'm talking about in gameplay. So your hit points matters a lot. Once the hit points reaches to 0, your ship will destroy and you will basically be out of that battle. So that's how the survivability works. It has certain HP. In this case, Chikuma has 17,300. The survivability, changes from ship to ship. As you're able to see, Hashidet has very low hit points compared to that Chikuma, which I have shown. I mean, if I can able to show you the tier 2 Chikuma, it has a lot better survivability because it's a better ship overall. So that's how it is. Now we'll come up to the artillery. So artillery is basically, well, you can able to see it has 4 guns, 152 millimeter guns. Well, these millimeter or caliber guns, I'm not gonna go and get to this. I'm just gonna go into the basics here. these are the guns that you're gonna be having in the ship. You will shoot from these guns, and there are main battery guns which are basically under your control, and there are secondary battery guns which are basically artificial intelligence control. You don't have a control on it, but they will shoot at enemy ship when they are under the secondary range. Okay, then we have main battery firing range, so the maximum range that you can able to shoot to enemy in the game. That's basically main battery firing range. Then we have anti-air defense. This is basically to counter a certain class, which is a carrier. Okay, and I have talked about there is a carrier class which is very unique in its playstyle. That's where it will defend himself against those planes. Then you have maneuverability, the maximum speed, the turning circle radius, and then you have the rudder shift time. I mean, if I just make it pretty simple, this is basically explaining a bit about how maneuverable this ship is, how fast this ship is. That's how this maneuverability is kind of right now. And then we have concealment. If the ship basically comes under this concealment, 8.9 kilometer, then what basically happens is the ship will be able to spot you. The enemy ship will be able to eventually spot you, and then he can able to shoot you because now he can able to see your ship. Again, I will explain in this gameplay. So these are the general things that I want to tell you about the ship itself, so you can able to understand what I'm talking about. So now I will come up to the section which is Armory. So as you can able to see, the game has a ton of things to understand. And if you want to understand this game a lot better, well, you really need this beginning guide. So definitely subscribe to my channel if you have not. So okay, I have a basic Armory section. Here you can able to see there are some special things that are featured for this updates. Okay, I'm not going to be explaining that. This is not what I needed to explain. I'm going to go and show you the section which is ships. Here you can able to see there are ships which are certain ships for certain resources. For example, there are ships that are coal ships. These are the resources you can earn in the game, and right now I have that much resource for this to buy this ship, for example. So this is for certain resource, and for all these coal ships, as you can able to see, you can buy these coal ships from these resource which is coal. So that is coal ships. Then we have doubloon ships, are real money based ships. So if you spend the real money in the game, you can actually able to spend your doubloons, which you basically buy from the premium shop or premium store. So these are some of the ships that you can only buy from doubloons. And then we have a very sort of rare resource, not easy to grind resource, steel. And steel is a resource that is very difficult to obtain, but once you manage to get to the steel resource, enough resource for getting one particular ship, I can tell you that these are the really strong ships that you can get for steel. Really strong. You can absolutely smash ships with these steel ships, I can tell you that. It varies from different class. For example, this is a carrier class steel ship. This is a battleship class. Then you have a cruiser, you have destroyer, you have submarine. So basically all the classes you can have a steel ship for every class. Then you have some enhanced credit income ships, like you can have a lot much better credit income ships if you play these ships. For example, these tier 9 ships, whether you buy these tier 9 ships from doubloons or if you buy these tier 9 ships for coal, they will have pretty much enhanced income for you guys. Then we have basically all the ships, and you can actually able to buy port slots, which I will explain what are these port slots obviously. So this is basically a ship section. Then we have commanders. I basically recruit the commander from the section that you know. There are some like commanders that you can actually buy for the for the doubloons as well, which is basically a premium resource, which is basically the real money. If you are interested in buying these commanders, sure. And then you have these commanders. These are basically the legendary commanders. Expensive commanders for a certain resource coal, but they are really, really good commanders. They have something better than you don't usually get on other, normal commanders. They are something which another chapter needs to be explained. And then we have another set of commanders, the seasoned commanders that also have some improved characteristics. So I do have basically all of them because, as I said, I'm an old player of World of Warships, so for me it's not a problem. Again, now I talked about the containers in the excess section. Well, you have some containers that you can able to buy. Again, for the premium resource, you can buy these containers, and for the resources that you can earn in the game for free, that is coal, you can buy these containers. So that is how it works. So these are the containers. There are premium containers, there are normal containers. It's another video that I need to explain that what are these containers and all that stuff. Then we have customizations. Basically, what is customizations is basically you can buy economic resources for a certain resource, coal. You can buy upgrades, like these are special upgrades, by the way. I'm not going to be explaining you what are these upgrades. Just keep it simple. These are special upgrades. You can have these upgrades instead of normal ones, that I can actually tell you. Then we have signals. I told about the signals. These are improving the characteristics of ships, so you can use these signals. They are available for credits, which is the easiest resource you can have in the game, by the way. And then you also have signals for coal as well. As you can able to see, let me show you these. Both a resource for the coal and for the credits, you can buy these signals. So let me reset that. And then we also have some camouflages. There are some camouflages that you can buy and you can just run it once. There are also permanent camouflages. Well, this will be self-explanatory. I don't need to tell you that what is this. You can buy this for quite a bit of coal if you want to. And then there is a camouflage that you can buy for steel as well. So there's that. And then there is bunch of insignias that you can buy for credits or from premium resource doubloons. Totally up to you, but I have to explain that what are these things in the customization. Then you have another resource, which is community tokens. This is something that I'm not going to be explaining you here. You can skip it. For now, it's not really important to know. Then you have Research Bureau. I think this section you won't be able to see, so I'm not going to go into this section for now. Then you have the event for the patch itself. And in this case, we have the aircraft carriers that just released in the game. The new ships that the World of Warship developers adds, that's where these are some of the things that you can buy for, like from that particular event. So this is exactly about that. Then we have a special event. Again, I'm not going to explain you. This is honestly, you cannot do anything about it. This is for really advanced players, so just leave it. And then we have Holiday Adventure. Again, this section is also for the old players, honestly. So you just don't need to think about this. Mostly, what is important is the ship section, commanders, containers, customizations. That's are probably the most important thing in the Armory. One more important thing is you can increase the premium time account, purchase doubloons from here. You also actually have coupons. So what are coupons? Well, 25% discount coupon for steel and coal ships, the resource that you can grind in the game. Special upgrades, you can grind. Signals, you can grind. You can have special discounts on it if you use these coupons. So, well, you will able to understand it. It's pretty much self-explanatory. Let me show you an example, okay? So I have talked about the doubloon ships, right? So this is exactly for that coupon. Let me click it. Just for the example, I just want to buy Sun Yat-sen, a battleship, tier 9 premium battleship. It cost 19,300. I apply the coupon. It now cost 14,500 doubloons. So this is how the coupon works. Once you click on the buy, I don't have doubloons right now, but if I have those, I can only buy for this much doubloons. So pretty much like self-explanatory. So there's exactly that. So as you can able to see, I've explained quite a bit about Armory. Now I'm gonna be explaining a very important section. This is basically very much new. This is kinda changed in 2024. It's just a recent change. So you have basically this thing where you have like progress points going on. I will make it pretty simple to understand this, what is going on. So what happens is basically you have to have to play some battles. Like if you play like 4 or 5 battles in a day, you can get certain rewards for this day, and then if you go and play the 5-4 battles for the next day, you can get the bonuses like or the rewards for that day, and then you just basically go on and just get to the higher levels because you are playing this game consistently, playing this game regularly, and you will increase your rewards. For example, the coal that I have talked about, the resource, well, you can get this coal 12,000 once you get into the level 16. All you have to do is to just play this game every day consistently. Sometimes you can skip, that's not a problem, but most of the time if you play, you will get to this level and you will get this coal, and you can also get this steel. Higher level, but you can get this eventually. So there is exactly that. Obviously, there are also the ships, the event ships. I have talked about that American carrier thing. You can also have these early access ships as well, so keep that in mind. So basic is just you have to just play the game to get these rewards, right? Simple as that. Okay, so after explaining this whole thing, now we will come up to the container section. Well, every day if you play the game, you will certainly get ship XP. You can able to see this is general XP. It's not for particular ship. It's just once you play any ship today, any ship, and you get ship, XP from that ship, well, it will accumulate and it will show here that how much XP did you actually earn today. Is it 2,000? If it is 2,000, you get a container. If it is another 2,000, if it is almost 10,500, then it is another container, and it will go all the way up to 37,000. So what basically happens is, if you grind 37,000 ship XP on any ship today, you will get all 3 containers, and these containers will have some small rewards, but very valuable if you want to play as a free-to-play guy. So yeah, there are things, but again, I'm not gonna go into that stuff pretty much. But you can get containers every single day. Then there is naval battles. Now I'm not gonna be explaining this naval battle because it requires you to get into a clan, and honestly, right now you really don't need to take care of this. It's pretty okay to just leave it as it is, and you might not even able to do something about it because you are not in the clan. So there is exactly that. Then you will also have news section. Let me go here. If there is some change, if there is some, for example, advertisement for a certain ship, or if there's some historical aspect that Wargaming want to basically show to their players, well, you have recommended news, all news. You can read these blogs. Sometimes these also have rewards. Just keep that in mind. There are certain areas where you can get rewards as well. Reading the news, they basically give you something out of that as well. So that is also pretty interesting. Oh boy, that's basically almost all the stuff that you really need to know. There's another thing that I have to explain as well. This is basically a contact section. So if you like a player in the game, if you have played with him as an enemy, you can basically add this into contacts. You will be able to understand how to add in contacts. That's not a problem because it's pretty much optional, honestly, at that time. Like for you as a new player, it's not a problem. So you can add many players into contact list. So this is exactly for that, and you can add them in division as well. Invite to division. If you want to play with like 2 players, like you love to play with a friend of yours, you can add him in the contacts and invite him into the division. That's how it is. Oh boy. Okay, you know, I have shown you some tier 1 ships. I will try to show you some tier 10 ships, or maybe a higher tier out there. So for example, if I just use this filter, I can go now into a tier 10 section. Now I have a ton of tier 10 ships, so don't worry. Again, you will get these ships eventually if you want to get these ships. Your choice, which ship you want to grind. Don't worry about looking at that much stuff. So yeah, let me show you a very special ship in the game. A historical ship that is actually commissioned. The Yamato, the Japanese behemoth of a battleship that is basically entered service in 1941. We all, if you a historical history lover, if you know about World of Warships 2, I'm sure a lot of players definitely know that. What am I talking about? You probably know this. I got to say, right? So there is Yamato, a really good ship, a lovely tech tree ship to play, but you have to get to the tech tree line. Let me show you. So if you want to play battleship, for example, you have to get to the Hashidate, and then you will go Tenru, tier 1, tier 2, tier 3 cruiser. Then you will just go and get to research the Kawachi, the tier 3 battleship, and this will take you all the way to Yamato, a tier 10 battleship. Similarly, if you want to play carriers, you just go from Chikuma to basically Yumikaze, a destroyer line, Wakatake, Isokaze, and then you basically able to switch from destroyer to carrier game from Hosho, Ryujo, Shukaku, and then Hakuryu. So a tier 10 behemoth of a carrier as well. So that's how it basically works in World of Warships. You grind from one tech line to other, or you can say from tier to tier, you basically get to the highest power level of that particular line. So that's how I can able to say. I know it's a very detailed video, but this is basically the whole almost sport thing. I haven't got into the profile. Let me go. I have shown you the access levels. I can show you the achievements as well. There are combat achievements. You get this into the game. It will be self-explanatory. Then you will have some ranks. If you play, for example, these ranked battles, this is what this section is for. Bronze, Silver League, Gold League. Once you progress through the ranks, you will get to the leagues as well. Then you have collections. If you open the containers, you have certain collections that you will get in the game, and you can complete those collections to get some valuable rewards. In this case, you can able to see I have gotten a permanent camouflage for a particular ship because I just completed this collection. And similarly, I have completed multiple collections, so you get certain rewards for that collection. And then we have another section that is summary. A summary basically explains how good player you are in co-op battle, in randoms, and basically it explains the win rates. As you can able to see, 64% win rate, at much battles played, 15,000 battle plays, or massive battles under the belt. Then you have random, there is ranked battles. So it basically explains each and everything out there. Then basically you can able to see, you can also filter out which ship you actually have good stats in. For example, if I pick, I just pick something pretty, for example, I pick a tier 8 carrier, Shokaku. Just picking a tier 8 carrier for random battles, right? So I have, let me show you here. So I have, okay, what happened? What happened? Never mind, I don't know what happened. I cannot able to show you for that. Let me go to a tier 10 battleship, for example. So I played one game in this ship. So you can able to see I have a win on this ship. Basically explains each and everything. I'm not going to go and explain what are these things. You will eventually find out soon. I have to explain each and everything in the port. which I absolutely did, or at least try to do my best to do. So I hope you're able to understand the basics of this whole thing, and will eventually help you if you want to do something. So I will go back to tier 2, and then I can just pick the Chikuma. Let me go and pick the Chikuma and start the Cobb battle. So how to start a battle? Well, it's pretty simple. You just go like that. I have tier 2, I can just go and get into the battle.